So, welcome back to my channel again. I'm going to discuss my summary about chapter 7, which is IP addressing. So, without further ado, let's start. So, network addressing or the IP addressing, we have the IPv4. Let's start with the IPv4 addresses. Then, binary numbering system consists of number 0 and 1 called bits. Also, if the IPv4 addresses are expressed in 32 binary bits divided into 4 to 8 octets, means that a 64 and a 32 bit have its the maximum as and the minimum bit rate per second. Then from the IPv4 addresses expressed binary, the binary is converted or the data is converted into binary in order to transfer it in a switch to a router and to another switch into another PC. So it's the computer language and logical representation using computer. And the IPv4 addresses are commonly expressed on a dotted decimal notation. Then we have what we call as positional notation. So the first row identifies the number based on radix. Decimal is 10, binary is based on 2, and therefore radix will be 2. And for example, from the hexa, octa using 8, the hexa the 16. Then from the personal notation part, of the binary decimal conversion, then also a decimal to binary conversion, uh, and for converting a decimal IPv4 addresses to binary, highly recommend to use positional chart and check first if the number is greater than this position, greater than 128 bit. If no, a 0 is placed in this position. If yes, then 1 is placed in this position, so it is 0 1 0 1 0 1. It's according to if the if it goes positive or go up, it should be 1, and go down, it will be 0. Then the process repeats until all positional values have been entered. Then we have network and host portion. An IPv4 address from a hierarchical composed of a network portion. Uh, the subnet mask helps devices identify the network portion and host portion. So subnet mask have one of the most important role here. Aside from the IP address and from the MAC table, subnet mask is located at the MAC table in order to distinguish also, uh, especially for the black IP. So go to the subnet mask. Subnet mask, we have three IPv4 addresses must be configured on a host. So unique IPv4 addresses of the host, then also subnet mask identifies the network host portion of the IPv4 address. So the default gateway IP addresses the local router interface. So as I've said, the default gateway is very important role in this CCNA or Cisco, because the default gateway will use as passage or true in order to send another data or packet into another setup of switches. So the subnet mask, the IPv4 address is compared to the subnet mask bit by bit from legit to right. A1, then a logical end, is belong on the IP address structure. On the logical end, illogical end is one of three basic binary operation in the digital logic. One of those three is the end one and used to determine on what network address. So the logical end of two bits yields the following result: that 1 and 1 equals to 1, 0 and 1 equals to 0, 0 and 0 equals to 0, and 1 and 0 equals to 0. By the ruling protocol, we have the prefix length. So it's the conversion about the host, of how many hosts you need, or how many hosts that you need to give connection, even though if it's wireless. So network host and broadcast, and the static IPv4 address assigned to a host. So some devices like printers, servers, and network devices require a fixed IP address. So you should use the VLSM in order to know the proper IP address and the host needed, or the host that having its IP address. So host in a small network and also configured with static addresses. Then we have the dynamic. Other one, as I've said, is static. Now it's dynamic. Most networks use dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP to IPv4 address dynamic. Then the DHCP server provides an IPv4 address, subnet mask, default gateway, and other configuration information. So IPv4 communication, we have three types: unicast, broadcast, and the multicast. Unicast is in one-to-one communication, broadcast is one-to-all, and multicast equals to one to receive to a select group. And broadcast, in addition to broadcast, message sent to everyone in the LAN using LAN cable or broadcast domain. And destination IPv4 address has all ones, and in the host portion. So multicast, one of the select group. Multicast is sent to all. Then public and private IPv4 addresses. So start with the private addresses not routable, introduced in 1990. So it is also about from the IP addresses. You should use BLSM in order to make proper host in a particular establishment. Then passive addressing, and we have the coexistence, migration from IPv4 to IPv6 technique. So nowadays the IPv6 technology has arrived in the Philippines. So it is now nearly adapted, or uh, properly adapted, or maybe full consumed or full adapted by the others. But somehow IPv6 is more complicated than the IPv4, so that the IPv4 present as they used in the in lab activities. So rule 2, omit omit all segments. A double colon can replace my single uh, contiguous. Then a string of one or more 16-bit segments, hex test. Then let's try it. Then global unicast, these are global unicast. These are globally unique internet routable addresses, same as MAC addresses. And link law, it depends on how many hosts will be used or using the facility. So the link local used to communicate with other devices. Then unique local used for local addressing within a safe between a limited number of them or limited number of time. Then structure of the IPv6 global unicast. So the static configuration as I used in my lab physical activity in this morning. So just typing use the following IPv4 addresses or the IP addresses you created in your simulation. So after typing it, and the configuration is running, blah blah blah. So it's now connected. Static link local addresses and this configuration. So that's all for the chapter 7. Hope you understand and hope you like it my video, and watch more until you succeed uh, with your dream. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.